kumelonda utoti. Anyichoyo manjaba ikofa batu kunyabo. Let us have the list.
Ambazonians, good evening to you. And yes, we are still asking, we want to know who owns the land. We want to know who owns the land, who owns the territory called the former British Southern Cameroons. Is it French Cameroon or Ambazonia? That is the answer we've been begging for the past 60 years. For the past 60 years. And I guess we're not going to relent until we get the appropriate answer for that question. And that is why we are in this war, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining the broadcast today. It's a pleasure to be with you. I want to welcome all of you who are watching by way of course, social media. We are not on satellite today. I am so sorry for those of you who should be watching from ground zero, but I can promise you that tomorrow or Wednesday, you should be able to have ABC back running on ground zero. We're trying to do everything possible to get ABC running back on ground zero. So bear with us for just today, and perhaps tomorrow ABC will be back with you on ground zero through satellite. But I'd like to welcome all of you, the thousands who will be joining me, who are already here, over 200 here already. Please hit that share button quickly, as I bring you very, very important issues today. Discuss very, very important matters today with you. So hit your share button for those of you just joining by way of Facebook. And if for any reason Facebook shuts us down, please navigate over to YouTube and you will still watch this live. And if you have ABC app, you can watch us live 24/7 by way of ABC app. You can watch us 24/7 by way of ABC app. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, please do that. Go to Play Store for those of you with Android phones. If you're using Apple phone, you will not be able to use it. But if you have Android phone, you should be able to download ABC and use it and watch us live. So again, good evening. Welcome to Ambazonia. Ambazonia in Europe, Ambazonia in Asia, Ambazonia in Africa, Ambazonia in Canada, in the UK, in South America, and the continental USA. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Please, again, I will encourage you. You go ahead, hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button. I got a lot to bring to you today. So please let us quickly hit the share button. And as you do that, I will be right back. Don't touch your remote at all. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks for tuning in today. It's a great day to be alive. So much happening in our struggle today. Just so much happening, and I will try to do my best to bring to you some of what is going on out there, what you really need to know. We're going to be talking today about the events, the attacks in Ndu that took a greater scale recently. We're going to be having a report from Ndu with one of us who is very familiar with what is going on there in Ndu, Donga, Mantung. The attack by the Mbororos or Fulanis on the villagers at Ndu in Donga, Mantung. We're going to be bringing you some very, very updated report from there. And also we're going to be talking about the SDF. The SDF. Is the SDF still that relevant? Is the SDF still relevant? We're going to bring you the answer. And then we're going to be also talking about Sisiko Negotiations, with La République du Cameroon? Why does it remain a secret? To whose advantage is it? Why? Why? If that is so important, again, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're going to talk about this, but this is the reason why we said from the onset when Sisiko and others were picked up and put behind bars, that we cannot mortgage our freedoms, our liberties to people who are chained behind bars, who can do anything over the night and come out to announce to us. Sisiko says they are negotiating with Paul Biya. What are they actually negotiating? Nobody knows. Is that the freedom? Are those the leaders you want who will negotiate behind bars, bring the result to you? We're going to talk about that. Hit your share button, ladies and gentlemen. That is very, very important. So hit your share button. Then we're also going to be looking at the recent trade deals. The recent trade deal signed by Great Britain, between Great Britain, I don't know what I should call them great. They are no longer great. That is borrowed history. I think there are only two great nations in the world today, the Americans and the Russians. Maybe you will even count the Chinese before you count the English. But they are signing trade deals with La République du Cameroon in spite of the fact that La République du Cameroon continue to commit genocidal crimes against people who made a relationship between that damn country and the UK even possible. We're going to be talking about that. Essentially, the British are accomplices to the human rights abuses and the killings that we see going on in that country. We will be talking about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, and so much more. And if time need be, I will open the phone lines, take your phone calls. So please go ahead, hit your share button. Barrister John Frunso will be joining me, and Professor Martin Ayim will also be here, God willing. So please go ahead, you hit your share button. Let us get at least 1,500 people, 1,500 people at the least today joining these broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in at this moment. Let me take you to some very, very important house cleaning items before I come to you. Please, this is very, very important. This is very, very important. I want to appeal to all of you. I'm sure you have seen a list going down, a donation list going around for the fora. Some of you belong to most of those fora, where a draft is being conducted for ABC to fund ABC. I really want to make a very, very passionate appeal to you today. All of you who watch ABC Amber TV, and those who have a passion to see ABC Amber TV remain on satellite. Let me be very, very honest with you. I don't want to come to you pretending that ABC is shut down on the satellite because of technical problems. It is not because of any technical problem. It is because we don't have enough money to pay the satellite bills. And that is why you see, you find a list going round the fora asking for support to sustain and to pay the bills for ABC. I want to make a very passionate appeal. If you love what we're doing here, and if you are a supporter of this struggle, you believe in this struggle, please consider making a donation to support ABC and to get ABC on satellite for ground zero to have it back. Ladies and gentlemen, in this struggle, there are only three major fronts. Three major fronts, let me call it tools in our hands. The first of those tools are the boys on the ground, on ground zero. The restoration fighters, Ambazonia restoration fighters on ground zero. They are the first tool that we have, leaving an indelible mark on what La République du Cameroon is trying to do on the ground. Then the second one is communication. Talking about ABC. Without communication, without an ability for us to reach our own people, I bet you this war would not still be going on, because La République and their media would have swarmed every household on ground zero. But thank God to ABC, our people can hear from us and understand exactly what the state of the revolution is and exactly what is going on the ground that La République du Cameroon would not want them to know. They can only know it through ABC, not through any other channel. Not at all. So please, this is the reason why this channel is very, very important, and it is critical that we sustain it, that we keep ABC on the air, on satellite, running 24/7. And of course, the third tool that we have is that of diplomacy. Diplomacy. So we have the boys on the ground, we have ABC, we have diplomacy. These are tools that we cannot do with. We cannot do with. That is why today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking every one of you, please, follow the links that you have on your screen, the methods of payment you have on your screen. You can give your $20. You can donate your $50. You can donate your $100. You can donate your $1,000 to support ABC. We will very, very much appreciate it. And for those of you who live in the USA, I'd like you to know that your donations to ABC are tax deductible. Again, your donations to ABC are tax deductible. If you're a businessman or woman out there and you need to donate to any non-profit, please consider ABC first. We are a 501c3 organization, non-for-profit organization, and so we have the powers to grant you a tax receipt with which you can use to file your taxes. So please, if it is only your $20, all your $50, your $100, your $500, some are giving $500 a month, ladies and gentlemen, to support ABC. I'm appealing to all of you out there, please consider supporting ABC. You have the Cash App payment and Zelle payment links right there on your screen. You also have the website and PayPal. In fact, you can go to the website right now, ABC Amber Television, ABC Amber TV, ladies and gentlemen.org, to make your payment. Click on the donation button on the website to make your donation. It is very, very critical that we get ABC back on ground zero with our brothers and sisters there who need it for the daily strength that they need to move on with this struggle. And thank you very much for considering that. God bless you all. Now, let me move to the issues right now. Very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. I will start with Bui, and I am hoping that our comrade who has this information is ready to talk to us about what is going on Indu is in the county of Donga, Mantung, and a lot has been going on there, sponsored by La République du Cameroon. We are going to get some details, ladies and gentlemen, of what is happening in Indu. Today, the interim government issued a statement informing the international community and the human rights groups around the world of what is going on in Indu. In Ndu, we have learned of the massacre of unarmed civilians. Unarmed civilians. Hundreds, if not thousands, have already taken up refuge in northern Nigeria. And guess who are the aggressors? The aggressors are not French Cameroon uniform officers. The aggressors have been the proxy, the Fulanese and the Mbororos, coming down from Nigeria, as we have learned, into Nwa, attacking the people, destroying their homes, burning down whole villages, as you will see in some of the photographs. You can see in this one, for example, this is a whole village, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, burned down, completely burned down. In Ndu, again, you can also take a look at that one. You can see homes burnt down in Ndu. You also find these are people's homes, ladies and gentlemen. People's homes burnt down in Ndu. And again, this is all happening with the hands of La République du Cameroon. The hands of La République du Cameroon involved. The hands of La République du Cameroon involved. Again, we sent out a press statement today to the international community, trying to pass the news of what is going on in Nwa to the international community. We have been told that a meeting took place in Yaoundé. A meeting took place in Yaoundé, ladies and gentlemen. You can look at this man. The man you find on your left is a French Cameroon parliamentarian, so-called, they call him Adamo Lambe. Is it Lambe or Limbe? Lambe, yes, Adamo Lambe. He is the so-called French Cameroon parliamentarian for that community. Now, the young guy you find on your right, the young man on the right, is the spokesperson. That is the spokesperson of the Mbolurus in Nwa. Again, that is the spokesperson for the Mbolurus in Nwa. And the guy in black is a parliamentarian. They call him Adamu Lambert. And the spokesperson guy with a cap there is also called Adamu, as I learned. Now, these guys that you find on your screen, they held a meeting in Yaoundé. They held a meeting in Yaoundé. I think that was last week, ladies and gentlemen, last week. And they actually admitted, the spokesperson, the Adamu guy on your right, actually admitted that the killings and the mayhem, the raising down of homes and villages in Nwa is being masterminded by the Mbororos. And guess who is giving them the arms? French Cameroon government is giving them the arms. And unfortunately, the young man you see smiling on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, hasn't have much to say about the situation in his so-called constituency. Of course, nobody elected him. He was appointed from French Cameroon. He was appointed from French Cameroon. That is what is happening in Ndu. That is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, in Ndu. I'm hoping that we are going to get our correspondent who was supposed to bring us a report from Ndu. A report from Ndu. I've been trying to get him on the line. I can't get him. Please, if you are watching, give me a call. Give me a call immediately. Let us talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, in the absence of that, while waiting for him to get to me, I will take you to the next subject. The next subject in the lineup here. And that has to do with the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. The United Kingdom. entering into trade deals with La Republic du Cameroon. Now, this is the letter. This is the letter that was sent out from the British minister, I guess, of trade. Let me take a look of it here. I will read you the letter in its entirety so you understand exactly what the British are doing. Fellow Ambazonians, we should never forget, we are in this trouble today because of the British. Because of the British, we should never forget about this. This is their statement coming from the UK. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a pause. I will get back to this. Let me speak to the correspondent. Let me speak to our correspondent who has this in due information to bring to us, in due updates to bring to us. So I will get back to you with the UK situation. Hello, sir. Hello. I did hear you, sir. How for you, sir?
Oh, they fine. They fine, but they fine really because that thing the worry we plenty.
Okay, we are going to get we will get the details of what the way it go on for Indu today, because I know you be really prepared for this discussion. So today is March the 15th. Killings, it is still go on for Ndu, that you know.
I want some correction first. I want maybe make correction.
Okay.
Ndu na different LGA.
Oh, sorry, Nwa. Yes, Nwa. Sorry.
LGA. Ndu never be for Ndu na for Nwa LGA.
Correct.
Thing where they happen, I say yesterday and today they prepare. They never come, but we know say they will come anytime. So they never stop. Since they come for kill we for Nwa. We Yamba people who don't talk say we not go fit live and make it happen too. Because even this man we call him say Adamu Edward Lambe.
Yes.
When parliamentarian for Nwa.
Yes, now the man who faced these people the same for screen. So the guy in black is a so-called parliamentarian from Nwa. Yes, sir.
Yes, you know Adamu Edward Lambe.
Okay.
He don't make meeting with Mboro them 2 times now. 2 times we don't make meeting. The last meeting we don't hold on with Mboro them now for number 13 day for this month for Yaoundé. Where they don't call Mboro them outside. Another one where the person will be said they talk Mboro them where they call them tell them that they smoke man or spokesman. Na teacher for university for Marwa.
And okay, so this guy, hold on, sir. This guy where a day for my screen, next to the guy in black, wearing a cap. His name is Adamu, right?
Adamu.
It teach for University for Garoua.
For Marwa.
Marwa, okay. And Naib is spokesperson for the Mborurus.
Yes, Naib is the spokesperson. Naib turn up the University for Garoua, not for Marwa.
Okay.
University for Garoua. Yes, Naib turn up say the Mawe they represent Bororo them, and that meeting will be now for Yaoundé, and all they will come for day. And thing where they happen, I say, government it give money for Masa Adamu and this Bororo them. And also, so there's someone when I Masa Alaji Aliyu.
Yes.
Now man for CPDM. He come up from Fair Village for Nwa. And another one na Alaji Basiru there for Yaoundé. Alaji Aliyu there for Yaoundé. Now them two so Alaji Basiru come out for Rom Village. Alaji Aliyu come out for Fair Village. Now them two so CPDM plus Damayo plus Mr. Adamu waiting for university for Garoua. Now them they could do all things.
Now this Adamo man na person from Nwa.
Na Yamba boy, no country boy, na Yamba boy.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe be teacher. Maybe teacher will teach for that side from Kongsamba before you go join a politics now. For come kill we.
Okay, tell us now, there be conflicting reports about who this Mbororo them day. This Mbororo for Nwa. Now Nwa people, or they come from Nigeria. Because according to the statement where we be getting, they be talk say, this their spokesperson where we see them on the right hand side, so it be talk for your own, they say, it be acknowledged for your own, they say, now Mbororo, that they commit the crimes for Nwa. So this Mbororo, where they commit a crime, now we own Mbororo inside Nwa, or now Mbororo from Nigeria. It be very important we clarify them.
Now Mbororo for two sides. Mbororo for Nwa, it don't come out. Go call Mbororo them for Nigeria, where they don't have money, na government for Cameroon don't give them. Because they talk say, we be people for Nwa. No, they join them for kill these people for Amazonia. So as they know they join them for kill them, they go punish all we. So they don't first start. They don't kill cow for Nwa. All cow for Nwa people. No man no get cow again because they don't take. They use gun when our government give them gun. This big gun.
Yeah.
They come keep cow all when cow don't finish. They come they teach goat. When goat don't finish, they go for anything where they enter for house, they broke for house, move thing them, move money, move even fowl. We not get fowl after they don't finish goat. So we not get anything for sell. We sell today. We fight with them. Now they don't finish and government they look at government no they talk no nothing. Government we don't go with the people don't right go for government. Ask government may come. Government no they come for hell we. So that way we don't say government no they hell we. But the people join with people all the number people they join they talk say okay if they the only kill with government no they hell what we go do. We avoid them. We talk so we go continue for people come out the run. So one don't go for Nigeria. So one don't go for that side for Ntaba. So one don't go for Magba. For one don't go for that side for Adamawa. So they don't go so. We people talk say we not for this how they kill we. They kill we. We go sit down. We avoid them start say they go form vigilante within the local way. They can local within them. At that time we borrow them. She say. They not fit fight with country people. Government too is join them. They come on now, go for Nigeria. Go take
which government you talk about? Amazonia government?
Now government for Cameroon because they don't because Joe they know we don't talk for Joe them. We don't talk for governor. Even governor get cow for one. Governor for Bamenda get cow for one.
Governor for Bamenda get cows for one.
Get cow for one.
Mbororo they don't attack you on them.
Governor Mbororo they keep cow for governor. Governor them to join them. When they keep that cow them to they join them give governor your own, give other people their own. Now you were the make and they take care for them no. They don't they ask them any question no. You don't just say they don't catch Mbororo man since 2017 when they started the kill people them. Before we boy them talk say they go make vigilante for the defend with people them. They catch no one. They never catch no one man. No one man never catch them. So now it don't happen. So people boy they don't talk so they go defend them. They start to defend. Now this government don't go. It never only take na Bororo for Nigeria. They don't go take that boy them where they fight for Boko Haram, join them for Interim Bororo them. They get good gun. The other time they come, they will be for 60 Achaba. They come 60 Bensikin. 2 for there, 2 for one, 2 for one. All man get gun.
So tell us, where are our people in Nwa? About How many, I mean, just the estimate, how many are out into refugee camps?
We can't have. No village they where the people did it. No village they not the way people did it because plenty people don't know. They come out, the plenty don't go for Nigeria. The one way go with the room, the one way don't go where no one from Bankim, for Magba, for Atta, for Dava. So when they come out, plenty don't go for Nigeria. So we not no number. And they not do plenty for village. So how they don't go through? Since for February, for 21 day for February, they started. Come back, they come back, they come, they join, they come as they come, she don't for play where they don't kill people them all. They come put their cow.
So the Mbororos are coming back and taking over the homes and the farmlands of our people who have escaped for their dear lives to Nigeria.
They come. Now so they come, she don't for house. For play where we don't, where they don't born with people, them die with people. They have then go start the first more. They come put their cow for day, and no one man not disturb them, no man not worry them. Even that parliamentarian, they never work out, go for village for ask them for country people. Say which did they happen? He never come. They go to meet up them for meeting, but he never come for ask for country people. Say now what did they happen? What did the damage? Now at the top of you, so more than 15 villages where they don't burn them down. The village for
15 villages.
More than 15 villages because Mwa get 42 villages. Mwa LGA got 42 villages.
Wow.
They don't burn. Now the biggest area for inside Amazonia. Now biggest.
Seriously?
They get biggest, we get 42 villages, and now since 1962 they formed that LGA, what did they call on that time say subdivision. Since 1963, now they made that we get 42 villages, and for inside 42 villages they don't burn already. They don't burn they don't burn Yam, they don't burn King, they don't burn Tom, they don't burn Young village, they don't burn Gung, Loose, Biti, Wrong, farms, some are there, all that village, plenty, they don't burn all. When they enter, you know, 50 people for inside village, they don't run all. And they don't talk to the department.
Where are the restoration fighters in Mwa? Where have they've escaped into hiding or what?
The boy they fight. They know the green. They know the. If not with the boy themselves, when they talk to women for even one village for Tana for up. Some other people would come and go. Some people they go join for some other village where they never born them. And that boy they follow with plenty. And the boy they don't talk it until they go kill all them. They not fit leave them. And they don't talk say now we don't declare don't talk say now war. They say they no go leave them. So now then they hell away. You know, so all man don't for die. When they see even old man for 82 years, they don't come choke you with a knife, kill him. 82 years, mommy, they can't choke you with a knife, kill him. You get one commode, they choke the girl for hand, the girl commode run. So
that is very heartbreaking to hear. Now I see the terrain in Mwa isn't the type people can easily run and hide in the bushes. I mean, how are the fighters doing? I mean, how are they protecting themselves? I don't see forest there. I see just grass. In the most cases, burnt grass. How are they doing? How are they coping?
Now you know, because we know our country, we know our village, we know how people come and go hide. Though we know to borrow them to the no bush fine. But which way they happen? I say they come to turn our horse. They come to turn our horse. Oh boy, they not deliver. Oh boy, they not the fight. If oh boy, they not be there. They for not finish. But when they come, oh boy, they start fight with them. They go burn some other village. They wait all the people them. Oh boy, they go come on run. But we not feel leave them. We not go fit leave this village them all. We not go fit surrender. We fight till we go this for end.
All right. Thank you very much. I really hope that the county, Donga, Mantung County, together with the interim government, will do something. We sent out a statement today. We hope that the international community sees what is going on in Nwa.
I want Master Chris, I want basic for talk something.
Okay.
I want basic for talk something. Say, well, when I hear say, when I try to do all government, interim government, do everything for tell international community people them say, they finish you for one government for Cameroon, they help them for finish we. We no get no man for talk for we, for help we, for different way. If we no come help. All my them don't run, they sleep for bush, they don't get thing for chop. So when them get wound, they don't go for inside place. Later on other day, they don't follow some capacity where we get wound for a head where they don't knock out with a stick, borrow for stick. They don't knock out. They follow you for blood to go meet you for bush. They finish and kill them. Throw them for day. Before we don't come, we can't see them now. After 2 days, we don't start the smell already. So with the crash, even and the other day for this place, for one village, for court, people don't go hide all for bush because they don't borrow, they go hide for bush. Borrow come for night, come move them with a horse and stick them. Move all my the way to be hide for bush. They cover the run for night. Which side did they go? One be for morning time, they can't finish time. Kill someone them. So if interim government no help we do something. If international community no can help we do something, and the talks are they cry because even Mr. Linus way they talk say be parliamentarian. He never even salute we never ask anything. He don't go join and borrow that they make their meeting because they give them money. So if we are not help we all we don't finish for one, all we don't finish, but we not finish until we learn. They can finish it before they take land.
All right.
I talk to the cry.
All right. Thank you. I believe say the interim government will do what a fit for do for alleviate some of the damage and the pain for Nwa. I also hope say Ambazonians out there they will support Donga Mantung. Unfortunately, I don't know what their donation payment methods are, but I want for belief say all Ambazonians out there where they hear which they go on for Nwa, they will stand behind Donga Mantung, support them for make sure say our fighters out there they not feel abandoned, they not feel like say they just they all by themselves on their own.
Last talk, Master Chris.
Okay,
so,
quickly.
Alaji Aliyu, Alaji Bashiru, and Master Adamu what they do for Garwa. Where they know say this thing whether na how one day we'll go meet up them. We'll not feel never made they do it what they do for people.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Okay, it's very, very pathetic, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on up there in Nwa. But again, we have stated that if those people think that they can go scot-free, they may go scot-free today, but I believe tomorrow they will have to pay for their role in the killings and the burnings up in the Nwa. That moment, that time would certainly come. But I want to appeal to you out there. Donga Mantung need your help. Donga Mantung needs your help. I don't know what their payment information is, but please, wherever that you are, look for that information and support Donga Mantung to get rid of the invaders. The invaders in Nwa. Very, very important now, ladies and gentlemen. The United Kingdom as partner to Cameroon crimes. The United Kingdom as partners to Cameroon crimes. Now, I like to read this statement that came out from the UK last week, announcing a trade deal worth £200 million. A trade deal with La République du Cameroon worth £200 million. Ladies and gentlemen, between the UK and La République du Cameroon. Now, this is what that statement reads. This is what that statement reads from the Department of International Trade, that is the UK's Department of International Trade, Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, International Trade, Foreign Office, Commonwealth and Development Office, James Doddridge, Member of Parliament, and Rani Jawodena. That name is a little tough to pronounce. Now, this statement was sent out on March the 9th, and this is what the statement said. Today, March 9, 2021, the United Kingdom has signed an economic partnership agreement with Cameroon. An economic partnership agreement with Cameroon. It goes further. The trade deal, which will support jobs and build future prosperity, was signed by International Trade Minister Rani Jayawardena and High Commissioner of Cameroon to the UK. I don't want to say His Excellency is deplorable, Albert Fortabon Njote in London. The deal provides certainty, it says, for British and Cameroonian businesses, ensuring they can continue to trade as freely as they do now, without any additional barriers or tariffs. The UK-Cameroon trade was worth around £200 million, they say, in 2019. And this deal lays a foundation to extend our trading relationship in the future, says the UK. The UK market accounts for 12% of total exports of bananas from Cameroon, and this agreement will maintain tariff-free market access to the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? The trade is in what? Bananas. Now, when you hear us talk about economic sabotage, that is exactly what this is all about. It is about ripping our resources by the English and keeping us as their slaves forever. We gain nothing. Nothing comes to us. And that is why just a week ago I was advocating that it is time that African countries sever ties with the Commonwealth, because there is nothing that Africa is taking home from the United Kingdom and from the Commonwealth. This is not strange. This new trade deal with the United Kingdom is not strange. When the Ogoni people in Ogoni land in Nigeria were being persecuted and hanged to death, ladies and gentlemen, the British, through the Royal Dutch share, were the ones behind it. When apartheid prevailed in South Africa for decades, guess who was behind it? It was the British. The British behind apartheid. And French Cameroon has killed over 15,000 Ambazonians. Guess who is giving them the money? The British. At the beginning of this war, I think that was 2017 or 18, the British signed an oil deal with La République du Cameroon. Now they are signing a trade deal, giving Cameroon much more money to carry on with the massacre. Now the statement also says it also guarantees continued market access. Listen to that. Continuous market access for UK exporters who sold £50 million in goods to Cameroon in 2019. International Trade Minister Rani Jayawardena said, today's deal, or this current deal, secures opportunities for both British and Cameroonian businesses, according to the statement, and will help support jobs and foster investment. Will help support jobs. Which jobs, ladies and gentlemen? Even if those jobs were to come by, how many Ambazonians, how many Southern Cameroonians will get any of those jobs? None. Look at the Commonwealth, for example. We went into the Commonwealth. Cameroon was allowed to join the Commonwealth because of the Southern Cameroons. But scholarships from the Commonwealth go to Francophone Cameroon, and none comes to former British Southern Cameroons. And they're telling us that this deal will bring jobs, Where will it bring jobs? Now it continues. International trade and investment are engines of economic growth around the globe. So today's deal will play a crucial role as we all build back better from COVID-19. That is the UK saying. Now, this agreement, it continues, will make sure around 200 million pounds of trade between the UK and Cameroon can continue, supporting Cameroonian businesses to increase operations, enabling UK exporters to sell more goods, and boosting prosperity for both countries as we, they say, together recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. This provides the continuity, it says. This provides the continuity businesses in both the UK and Cameroon need to ensure trade between the two countries continues to flourish and to grow. The signing comes after the agreement to rule over current EU-Cameroon trading arrangements from 1st of January 2021 concluded at the end of December. The UK government, it says, has secured agreements covering 66 countries, plus the EU, worth 890 billion pounds of trade in 2019. I will end it there, ladies and gentlemen. But that is what is going on. The British remain accomplices. To most of the killings that have taken place in Africa, not just in Amazonia, but in Africa. And the case of Ogoniland is still very, very glaring. The case of apartheid is still very, very glaring. Everywhere in Africa where other nations are contemplating sanctions, the British go for trade. The British go for business as usual. And that is what they are doing in Cameroon. When the French regime in Cameroon is assassinating, killing, maiming, burning down whole towns and villages, the British are there just doing business as usual. Just business as usual, ladies and gentlemen. I will bring in my panel for tonight to weigh in on this, and we will continue on other subjects with this. Barrister John, sir, it's a privilege to have you again back here. Good evening, sir.
Well, good evening, Chris. Thank you very much for inviting me once more.
Thank you. Prof. Ayim, again, thank you for joining me, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary Chris.
All right, I'm glad we have your audio today. I was afraid we may not have your audio. All right. Please, let's get quickly into this trade deal between England and Cameroon. This is something that is very nauseating, Barrister John. I can't believe that in the midst of massacre, killings, razing down of towns and villages in Cameroon, in the southern Cameroons, that the British will go forward to continue to sign deal after deal after deal with French Cameroon. Are they trying to get French Cameroon to pass the message? Those separatists, as they call it, are just wasting their time. We are fine. Our partners are all there. Is that not a message they are trying to pass around?
Apparently, that is the message, Chris. You remember, we are where we are because of the British. The United Kingdom turned its back on the British Southern Cameroons. The British Southern Cameroons were given to the British as a trust territory, to manage as a trust territory until independence. Just like the French, La Republique was given to the French the British Southern Cameroon was given to the British. The British have now come out clear to show us that they actually did away with us and they don't want to know anything about us. They don't want to know what we are doing. We don't want to know whether we survive or will not. Because the trade deal plus the oil deal that they signed sometime about 2 years ago with La Republique of Cameroon to explore oil and gas in Victoria, which is in the British Southern Cameroon, goes to tell us that the British couldn't give a damn about what is happening, whether we live or we all die. It doesn't concern the British. Now, what I will take from this, Chris, I will let you know that it is important for us to save ourselves from that deal or whatever contract that the British are now signing with the Republic of Cameroon till 2017. And how do we do that? We will ensure that any provision of that trade deal that they have signed with La Republique of Cameroon is not applicable or executed on our zone. Our restoration forces and all of us should ensure that not a single banana leaves the Southern Cameroon to the British. That not even a liter of palm oil leaves the Southern Cameroon to the British. That not even a pound of rubber leaves Southern Cameroon to the British. And that not even an inch of or a small packet of tea leaves the Southern Cameroon to the British. The British can sign whatever deal they want to sign with the Republic of Cameroon. It does not concern us because it is now clear that the British don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about what happened to us. They made it clear right from 1961 when they didn't even show up at the Pullman conference where they were supposed to be there for us to negotiate the policies that will be applicable when we finally joined La Republique of Cameroon. They didn't show up, and it indicated to us that they must have passed us over to the French. I don't know what deal they had with the French, but it is becoming clear that together with the French and La Republique of Cameroon, they sold us, the British sold us, for whatever reason, they sold us, and they don't want to hear anything about us. Thanks to the British House of Commons, there are parliamentarians in the British House of Commons that are now regretting for having abandoned the Southern Cameroon. But the British government, Her Majesty's government, doesn't give a damn about what happens to the Southern Cameroon. And that's what is happening.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will make sure that we inform the British government that any deal at all that they have signed with La Republique of Cameroon from 2017 going forward is not applicable on the territory of the Southern Cameroon's Amazonia. We will write to the British. We are going to inform the British. Let them know that they cannot execute any part of their deal, any kind of agreement or whatever they have signed with La Republique of Cameroon on our territory. That is all I have to say. Prof.
Ayim, again, as I stated from the beginning of this show, we are here today. We are here today because the British failed us. They essentially sold us, and apparently they are still selling us even as we speak. What is it going to take? What is it going to take before the British recognize that this predicament was brought upon us because of them? Prof. Ayim.
Intensified action on our part against British interests. Like Barrister Ansel said, no part of this trade deal will be applicable in Amazonia, in Southern Cameroon's Amazonia. We will make sure that this happens. That's what it tells me. The British are at the root of our troubles, the root cause of all illegalities of our journey, starting from the British Cameroons to today. Since 1946, the UN gave the British territory to the British Cameroons for Britain to manage, to prepare for independence. Britain went ahead, split it into northern British Cameroons and southern British Cameroons, etc. Look, Britain, UK is at the root of every illegality that has gone on with the historical evolution of our country. So, at this point, we will not be crying baby. They have stated clearly to us that we have our struggle in our hands and that we have to step up what we are doing. And Britain and UK got to make sure that, listen, this deal, the portion that is applicable to Southern Cameroon will not be implemented. That is homework for us.
Now,
there's no say here. There's no forward backward here.
We have talked so much in the course of this struggle about economic sabotage. That is a big tool that we have in our hands. And when they reference bananas, those bananas are coming from our plantations, from the CDC, and all over the place.
Right.
But Prof. Ayim, at the beginning of this thing, we shut down CDC. I think the moment has come for CDC to be completely, including the palm oil. Everything has to be grounded. Shouldn't that be done?
Yes, that should be done. I've just told you that this is a wake-up call Britain or UK has given us, and we are going to intensify what we need to do to make sure this deal doesn't work. Definitely. That is going to be top priority. Me, I am not going to write anything to Britain. They know what they're doing. They know our historical problems better. They're doing what they're doing. We will have to step up and do what we need to do.
Mr. John, I see you eager to say something there.
Yes, I would say that we are going to put up a letter to the British government telling them that, putting them on notice, and we will copy the World Trade Organization, we will copy the United Nations, and we will copy La République du Cameroon, so that tomorrow they will not say that they signed a deal when we were still under the Southern Cameroon. They should be put on notice. I am not going to sit and say that we will not write. We are going to put the British on notice, and it's going to be circulated. We will copy the World Trade Organization. We will copy the United Nations, and we will copy La République du Cameroon, who are partners of the British. Partners in crime, partners in economic, partners in everything. And let me say this, I hope the Ambazonians in Du are hearing me. If that tea estate in Du that is run by Alaji Dampolo, who is from Sabga, if that tea estate, if even 1 ounce of tea is shipped to the British, that tea estate should cease to exist until we fully establish our sovereignty. The new restoration forces should take note that they should make sure that if that tea estate is still functioning, nothing should go to the British, and it can be found out. And Naji Dampolo, I am telling him this. I am passing this message to him to know that he cannot ship any tea to the British, to the UK. If he wants
I think, Barrister John, I think the easiest way to do that is for us to stop anything crossing the Mongol over to Douala. I think it is upon us, it is left upon us to see that that is done. So I really hope that we can get it done.
Yes, Chris, let me tell you. Dampolo, Alaji Dampolo has swept from Du, where you do estate tea, the Du tea estate. He can ship it through Nigeria. He can ship it through Douala, passing through Matazem. That is coming to Bamenda and going down. But we are saying that if we should shut him down if we find out that he is shipping to the British. I don't know what the situation of duty is right now. I know about Tole. Tole cannot function any longer. But
are you sure Tole no longer functions? I thought a few months ago I saw people working there.
From permission I've got, our boys have ensured that Tole doesn't function. Now, banana from Tico and Ikona, we should make sure that we do an economic sabotage on those plantations of banana at the corner and Tico, so that no one banana should be shipped out to the British. Because I can inform you, Chris, banana from Jombe is a French company. It's a French company, and the French don't ship bananas to the British. They ship it to France. But the banana that the British are talking about are coming from CDC banana in Tico and Ikona. And if we don't stop that, if our people, our restoration forces don't make sure that they sabotage that link, the British will continue to receive banana from Tico and from Ikona. And this is where we must step up. We must step up. And that also applies to palm oil. Palm oil should not be seen to leave the shores of Cameroon or the shores of Amazonia anywhere in the world, because they will certainly go to Britain for British. And this is where I am saying that we will have to put the British on notice that no part of that their trade deal, no part of the oil deal that they are signing with the Cameroon should ever be executed on our territory.
I really hope we get that done. I really, really hope that we get that done. We have talked about frog exodus. We didn't get it done. We have talked about brasseries. We haven't got it done. This is an urgency. This one is an urgency. And I think it is well within our means to shut down those plantations and tell the British, you won't kill us to get our food. Prof. Ayim, briefly, while we move to the next subject, please.
Yes, please. What I'm trying to say here is this, that actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
Britain, UK, has hindered us, has provoked us to the core. It is what we are going to do that will speak louder. I'm not here to disclose say strategies and that what we need to do. I said they will see those things being done because it's a new dispensation, and we are going to make sure any deal that has to do with Amazonia, Southern Cameroon, doesn't work. So you can rest assured that we have been provoked enough, and that we are going to intensify. When I say intensify, it's coded. So much is involved there. Actions will speak. Take my word to the bank.
Thank you. We really want to see that happen. We have to see it happen because we do not have any choice. If we are not if we do not begin to set examples to some of these powers, then it take us for jokers. And I think we have to put everything on the table to make sure that these bananas, not a single one of them, gets to the United Kingdom. Let's talk about something else, gentlemen. Over the week, we saw the interview from Sisiko. Sisiko accorded what newspaper is that? Jeune Afrique news magazine, essentially stating that very confidentially that they are negotiating. Well, let me say he is negotiating. Sisiko is negotiating with La République du Cameroon. Now, this has been going on for a while. Of course, there is nothing strange about that, but I think it is important that once in a while we revisit this subject. Sisiko is negotiating secretly with La République du Cameroon, and the rest of Ambazonia outside fighting the same cause with him have no idea whatsoever that he is negotiating out there with La République du Cameroon. This interim government severe ties with Sisiko Ayoktabe because of things like this. When we stated that we cannot trust anybody trying to negotiate for us from behind bars. Now look at exactly what is going on. Sisiko, he says, he confessed, he is negotiating with La République du Cameroon, but nobody knows exactly what he is negotiating. Barrister John, let me start with you. Isn't this vindicating us who said from day number one, we cannot allow prisoners to negotiate for us? And have we not been vindicated?
We have, Chris. I want to draw your attention to a very, very interesting piece I read, written by Dr. Mo Tita from the same prison.
I read that too.
That piece clearly states who Sisiko Ayoktabe and Ayabacho are. And look, Sisiko Ayoktabe is a prisoner. The only thing I can see him negotiate is how he's going to leave that prison. But he cannot engage the Federal Republic of Ambazonia in British Southern Cameroon or the Southern Cameroon in any negotiations with La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon by now should have known. They are no idiots. They know that Sisiko Ayoktabe represents nothing, absolutely nothing. He doesn't have one fighter on the ground, and Ayabacho, who associates with him, even if he has one or two people on the ground, they are proxy fighters for La République du Cameroon. And if La République du Cameroon is planning on any further negotiation about this conflict with Ayoktabe, then they must not know what they are doing, and it will take them nowhere. Having said that, the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, led by His Excellency Dr. Komesako, is ready to negotiate in the presence of an international mediator. For now, we have only the Swiss. Even if another one shows up, which is recognized by the international community, like the Swiss have been recognized, we will negotiate a ceasefire and the terms of the ceasefire. Because there's no ceasefire without monitoring, Chris. We must negotiate a ceasefire and its terms and agree on a monitoring organism led by the United Nations Peacekeeping Force or some interposition force created by some group of interested parties in Europe and the Americas and in Asia. We will not budge. This war will stay on. We will increase firepower. In fact, our boys should now go offensive, like the president said, because Ayoktabe represents nothing. Look, the Cameroon government is fishing all over the place. I don't know where they intend to get from Ayoktabe, but Ayoktabe himself does not even want to let us know what the subject matter is. Who then does he represent? If he's not telling even his own surrogate that we were negotiating on so and so point, that is his business. But I know that La République du Cameroon is not that stupid.
I think we have two very similar characters in this struggle. You both agree with me. We had Cho Ayaba flying to London all by himself to sign an OA deal Nobody within his own ranks knew about it. Now you have the second character in the Ayok Tevi, unilaterally negotiating the fate of 8 million people behind bars, and nobody else knows what is going on. They are holding tight, really tight onto it. Prof. Ayim, we were in meetings. When I stormed out of some of those meetings, I didn't storm out, I was actually cut off the meetings and accused of being rude to Sisiko for trying to rule us from jail. I think I am vindicated, am I not?
You are vindicated. Listen, I was serving in Sisiko's government before he was adopted. And we, through a process, arrived at having His Excellency Sako as interim, as acting. It is Sako that maintained this struggle as it was decapitated at the Nera. We did everything. I was at the center of everything, trying to stabilize, etc. If Sisiko had wisdom, his first attempt to talk would have called some of us, the elderly, in his government and asked what was going on. I would have briefed him well. But he listened to people, this youth, who stepped forward and misled him, and since then he's been acting funny. I am sure, and I'm telling Sisiko, if you are listening to me now, whatever you are doing there is dead on arrival. You are talking for yourself. You have the right to talk for yourself. You have the right, like any other Amazonian, to talk for yourself. But whatever you are doing there, if at all you are, is dead on arrival. That is a message to you. I hope you're listening to me, Sisiko. I'm talking to you. Whatever you are doing there, with whom and whatsoever, is dead on arrival. I leave it as that. To me, you are not negotiating anything. You are not doing anything. You're just trying to be gentlemanly. We out here in the interim government, we are doing everything possible. Wherever we go, one of our conditions is that they should release our comrades from jail and all other leaders from jail. That is our fight. We are all focusing on that, and there was no contention between Sako and you. Whoever deceived you that there was no contention between Sako and you have that person to blame. If you consulted me, I would have given you the correct advice. People who were disruptive, causing confusion here and there, trying to disrupt the struggle, were the ones who were quick to mislead you, and you are following them. We have put down our feet. We've stood firm. Whatever you're doing, Sisiko, is dead on arrival. Over my dead body. Thank you.
Barrister John, I mean, let's be very, very real. Is it even possible that Sisiko can sit on the table with La République du Cameroon and arrive any form of settlement that is acceptable by Ambazonians and the international community? Is that even possible?
The answer is a big no. He cannot. Because look, Chris, Sisiko hasn't got one single fighter on the ground. Sisiko doesn't manage the struggle that the Federal Republic of Amazonia is going through. Sisiko does not even know where the struggle is as of now. He is a prisoner, for heaven's sake, and he's in the hands of the enemy. Whatever he does in there engages only him and his cohorts who are serving in there with him, excepting Patasan and maybe Fongalanfo, whom are here. They are now at daggers drawn. Listen, Sisiko is an idiot. Well, excuse my language, because he is where he is because he dislocated his own defense. Secondly, He is where he is because of greed. And thirdly, he is where he is because of outright incompetence. Because you cannot be deceived by the enemy to meet you in a hotel in Nigeria and struck a deal, and you go there without informing the stakeholders across the world that are fighting the same cause with you. You go there with your friends, a few friends in Nigeria, and they set you up and capture you. That is stupidity. I'm not insulting his person, I'm insulting his political character. Ayub Tabe represents nothing to the Ambazonian people. Therefore, La Republic is not stupid. Let's get it clear here. La Republic is not stupid. La Republic knows who is the government of La Republic of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. La Republic knows. They see the fighters on the ground. They see what is happening on the ground. They see the sophistication of our weaponry. They see the sophistication of our tactics. They're not coming from Ayub Tabe. Neither are they coming from Ayabacho, who is their surrogate, fighting for them and killing our people. They know that it is coming from the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, led by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ekome Sako. They know, and they know it very well. The international community knows. Everybody knows. So La Republic will be very surprised that La Republic will go and negotiate anything with Ayub Tabe, because it will not be applicable. It cannot be. It will go nowhere.
And that is exactly my argument, because listen, we have the AGOVC in this struggle. We have the APLM in this struggle. We have the SCNC in this struggle. We have Maurice in this struggle. We have, think about every other group, put them side by side with the interim government. You see, for all of you listening to me out there, I want you to understand this. We don't care, I don't care if La Republic du Cameroon reaches a deal with every other group out there. Take this to the bank, take this to the bank. Without the interim government, there is no way a deal, a final settlement can be reached in this conflict, because this interim government has the boys on the ground. We have the fighters. We have the fighters. Ayub Tabe cannot ask our restoration fighters to lay down their arms. Ayabacho doesn't have the fighters to ask to lay down their arms. They have gendarmes and police masquerading as ADF out there and hanging around and hanging with La Republic du Cameroon in La Republic du Cameroon uniforms. APLM doesn't exist. They used to exist. We don't know where they are anymore. So when it comes to laying down of arms, a ceasefire, as I hear them trying to meditate upon, when it comes to a settlement, I want all of you out there, especially on ground zero, to ignore their propaganda. Ignore their propaganda. Ayub Tabe cannot call for a ceasefire in Ambazonia. Only this interim government can call for a ceasefire, because we have the fighters. We have the soldiers, we have the field marshals, we have the chargers, we have all of them, they know PTs, all of them out there, the commandos, we have them. Let's see if La Republic du Cameroon can indeed call this off, ignoring this interim government, because that is all, ladies and gentlemen, that is what they have been trying to do at all costs. I'm being a little bit longer here, but let me say this before I hand over to you. You see, of recent we are hearing of all this collaboration, and some people have made a business of collaboration. It sounds good in the ears, and vulnerable people will think that it's a great thing to do when they come and sit and you hear, oh, you see, I just wish you people were united. People do not realize what is in what they are preaching, what is in the collaboration they are preaching. This is what it is, let me tell you. Collaboration means bringing the interim government with the AGC, with the APLM, with Maurice, with the SCNC, with every other Tom and Dick group out there. You bring them together, and then they say, okay, we are now together, we are now united. It's a one general platform. Let us now agree to work together. Now they vote out a government. Hello? I hope you heard that. They will now vote in order to work with others. The government is voted out. So what are you left with? You are left not with Ambazonia, you are left with Anglophones. That is what is in this so-called collaboration, and Ambazonians should open their eyes. We will not accept any form of collaboration to which we have no control at this interim government. Barrister John, I see you really want to say something.
Yes, I'm just agreeing with you, Chris, because again, over the weekend I read a piece like that, where some people met and some of these surrogates, some of these people, these militants of collaboration, they met, and their plan is to ensure that they bring everybody together and vote out the government and will become Anglophones in La République du Cameroon. That's what I was shaking my head and agreeing with you. And it is there on arrival, because we are in the driver's seat. We control everything that happens. Along with the Team Act, we are ready to move forward.
Bishop John, let me say this. Let me say, even in Team Act, even with Team Act, listen, I don't think this interim government is going to go for anything that seeks to take away the Southern Cameroon, take away Ambazonia, or even the Southern, just forget about Southern Cameroon. Talk about Ambazonia, because they can camouflage in the Southern Cameroon, the appellation. But then say, I said here, I think 2 weeks ago, that La République du Cameroon is scared, very, very scared of 3 words. Number 1, root causes. Number 2, interim government.
Yes.
Number 1, root causes. Number 2, interim government. Number 3, Ambazonia.
Yeah.
Because if they go to the negotiation table with the interim government, they legitimize Ambazonia. If they go to the table with interim government or act, they legitimize root causes. And you know what root causes mean. Profahim, I know you want to say something there.
Yes. You see, La République is playing and some people are dancing. If you follow La République, then we are stupid. I am sure Sisiko understands this. You know, if you see La République promoting something, they have something to gain about from there, for sure. And for us to ask, why will La République do that? No, they will do that because they want to gain. They want to make it an internal issue. They want to be at the driver's seat. They want to be like the referee and coach of both teams at the same time. So they have to try a way to make it go their way by projecting that path which is going to go their way. That is common sense. We are intelligent people. We are going to act intelligently in a matter like this that is an international issue. It's not a national issue, it's an international issue. In an international issue of this nature, you will need a third party to mediate. In this case, we have the Swiss HD. We have on our side the Act, Team Ambazonia, and on the other side, La République. And this negotiation or mediation has to be done in a neutral place. Sisiko knows that. Everybody who has common sense knows that. So we, in this interim government, legitimized by the people of Ambazonia, will stand firm for doing what is best for the people of Ambazonia, which is independence. We are pro-independence. We have refused to talk at the corridor. We have refused to talk at the back door. This is a public issue. We want to meet in a public avenue. Let the world see us. We are talking and looking at La Republique on the face, and they look at us, and we speak sense. We have been contacted many times at the back scene, and we say no. If you are so confident of yourself, why are you coming at the back scene? We say no. Sisiko says no. So they will go now to Sisiko at the background, whatever they are talking there, but know that this is an issue of international magnitude. We are ready to meet in an international arena with a third party mediating. We love peace. We love ceasefire. We love, but let's talk mediated ceasefire in an intelligent way.
All right.
So that's where we start. This interim government.
And may I add, Chris?
Yes, sir.
That there is nothing in international law like temporary ceasefire. Ceasefire is ceasefire. And ceasefire is negotiated. And the terms are agreed. And is negotiated before an international mediator. For now, we have only the Swiss. But if another one comes up, that is international and recognized by the United Nations, the United States, the European Union, the Canadians, the Germans, the British, if they are recognized, why not? We will sit and negotiate. There are only two parties to this conflict, Chris. I keep saying this and let everybody listen. It's La Republique du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Amazonia, the then Southern Cameroon. Those are the only two parties to this conflict. And if Ayuktabe and his surrogates and Ayabacho and their surrogates are minded to come to that negotiating table, they can come on the side of La Republique du Cameroon for all I care, but they cannot come as the Federal Republic of Amazonia, the then Southern Cameroon. They cannot. Because we have one objective, and our objective is independent.
We are quickly running out of time here. Let me provide him. I'm coming to you. I will start with you. You can add that there. But briefly, I would really like you guys to tell me, really, why are these negotiations between La Republique and Sisiko, why are they a secret? I mean, I just want you to think about it. Why is it a secret? Please give me what you think. Provide him. Let me start with you, please.
I don't believe that Sisiko is doing anything there. I really don't, because as I said earlier, you understand, it makes no sense.
He says he's doing something. Makes no sense. They are in a negotiation. Why would you say that?
I read something somewhere too, where I read something in an interview I had in a newspaper. He said they were not negotiating anything. So it's either here or there. But you see, as I said, anybody has the freedom to negotiate. But he's dead on arrival.
No, but you don't negotiate for me. You don't negotiate for me while you are in chains.
Right. He's dead on arrival. That's what I'm saying. And I just want to chime in here about, one fallacy that people have out there. Some people have felt that we all have to be united. We all have to be united for the negotiation to take place, like what La Republique is saying. No. Listen, I am in America here. Studying the American War of Independence, not everybody was united. You cannot have everybody together. If you have a critical mass like the interim government has, 95% of Amazonians stand behind this interim government. That is legitimate enough. And the same 95% or more stands behind the act. The act. So I'm adding the other percentage of other groups. Stands behind the act, and so the act is legitimized by the people. And anybody who really loves independence or Amazonia, join the Team Act. Simple. If you love independence that much, what is so difficult for you to indicate to join the act? The act is open. They have taken their message to Asia, to Europe, to America. They have met the people. They have said they are open. What is so difficult for anybody to indicate to join the act? You go around, you want to tell me about collaboration? That is a very sweet word, nice word. You don't collaborate if you don't share the same goal. Then you collaborate stupidly. We are not foolish. Yeah. And we will not do that. Even after all what we know now about AGC, ADF, and the La Republique, etc., you want us to collaborate? Yeah, you must be out of your mind.
Yeah,
you must be out of your mind. Whoever is saying that
I am
now.
For the kind of collaboration where people come to the table with an open mind and say,
right,
what can we do together? If I am holding the neck, can you hold the tail? If I'm holding the tail, can you hold the neck? That is what I genuinely expect out of any form of collaboration. Even the AGC comes with this spirit, we welcome them. Even Sisiko come in this spirit, I think we welcome him.
Right.
Okay.
Barrister John, please.
Let me answer you. Listen, La Republique is not as stupid as we think. La Republique has some very intelligent people. Let's not forget that. La Republique is talking to Sisiko on other issues. Maybe about their release. Maybe about how they can get their surrogates out here to destroy the interim government, so that the question of independence should die. La Republique is been fishing. They are fishing, and at the same time, you remember, Chris, that at one time they refused that. They were not talking to Sisiko. You remember?
Yeah.
They refused that they were not talking to Sisiko. Even after they met with Sisiko in the cathedral in Yaoundé, they came out with a communique and said what we think is not what it actually is. You remember that incident?
Right.
La Republique is not stupid. La Republique knows where they will negotiate. They cannot negotiate anything with Sisiko. Neither can they negotiate anything with their surrogate, with their partners, Ayabacho, because Ayabacho is a proxy fighter for La Republique. And La Republique knows. Colonel Mbankwi has been supplying arms to Ayabacho. So it's public notice. Yeah. Everybody knows. So
I think you may need prayers from Ayabacho.
Come on, man! I don't need any prayers from a killer like Ayabacho.
Okay.
Which prayer will pray to whom? To which God? To which God that will pray? That a man with blood in his hands will pray for me? Let me tell you, Chris. La Republique is going to come to the negotiating table first for us to talk ceasefire, and second to start the negotiating process. Mark my word. Let me tell you why I say that. Recent events have solidified what I've said. One, do you know that the French ambassador visited here last week and delivered a message from the French president? Number two, do you know that they actually held a security meeting where Betty Asomo made a presentation? And they made allusion to the recently passed Security Council resolution on firepower. On ceasefire on those zones that around the world that are fighting a war.
Yeah.
To allow for the vaccination, of the COVID-19 of the population against COVID-19. And all these things are happening now. La Republique has also declared that their troops they have a very low morale because the restoration forces have developed sophisticated tactics and sophisticated weaponry.
So then if they should now be advocating for a ceasefire, what do you think is in their mind? Provide him.
I don't know why you want me to speak for La Republique. Why am I reading their minds for?
Well, I get question because you know that when was it in December? the United Nations called for a ceasefire in all troubled regions because of the COVID. La République said no. In fact, you will recall that the United Nations came to us. We had a series of meetings, and they were trying to impress upon us, the interim government, to agree to a ceasefire. We said, why are you coming to us? We don't have the power to enforce a ceasefire. All we can do is ask our boys to pull backward. That is assuming French Cameroon troops pull out of the territory. Our boys will have nobody to fight. Even so, La République did not abide by that decision from the UN. Now they are talking about a ceasefire. So that's why I'm inquisitive to know what they want now and why they want it. Okay, Barrister John, go on, please.
I pass it to Barrister. Barrister, so you can take over that.
Barrister
Let me
John.
tell you why. Let me tell you why they want it. That first one, the French told them not to respect the ceasefire, not to respect the ceasefire resolution coming from the UN. This time around, the game is changing, and it's changing fast, Chris. Just watch all the parliaments in Europe. The French parliament, our parliamentarian that you and I interviewed, that you interviewed, and we talked about it, is Nedu. You heard the debate on the French floor. You heard the debate in the Bundestag. You heard the debate in the British House of Commons, the British Parliament. You heard the debate in the Canadian Parliament. Listen, Chris, the United States are a power broker around the world. They have their allies. The United States knows that if a resolution comes up on the Southern Cameroon, it's most likely going to be vetoed by the French, and it's most likely going to be vetoed by the Chinese. Yeah. So they are not relying on any resolution. They know that if that resolution is not voted and is vetoed, they have the capacity to use their allies to solve a problem around the world. Look, that is the scenario now, and the handwriting is on the wall, and the French do not want to be on a collision course with the United States. So the message is going to Yaoundé, and they're now beginning to talk ceasefire. Okay? Well, we are not opposed to ceasefire. Let them come to Switzerland and before the mediator, and we'll meet them there, and we iron out the terms of the ceasefire. That's it. That's as simple as that.
What about a ceasefire? Because to me, I don't think it necessarily has to take Switzerland for us to observe a ceasefire.
I disagree.
Let me finish. How about, Barrister John, how about...
Let him land.
Let me land, Barrister John. How about they declare a ceasefire, pull all their troops out of our territory, then we observe a ceasefire? How about that? We don't necessarily have to go to Switzerland to observe that kind of a ceasefire if it happens this way. But then the next thing should be going for the negotiation, which must be Switzerland. So that's the kind of ceasefire I look at. If they will observe that ceasefire, pull out all their soldiers, then, okay, tell me why you disagree.
I disagree because La République has military installations in Amazonia. La République will tell you that they want a ceasefire. If they don't want to go for negotiations, withdraw into the barracks. That is no ceasefire, Chris. To me, that is no ceasefire. Amazonia can never accept a thing like that. We will follow them right to their barracks. Listen, a ceasefire is international.
But Barrister John, if you had a negotiated ceasefire, they pull out their barracks, will still be there.
Chris, let me tell you this.
Chris, I think Barrister, yes. Just hold on, please. Chris, I think you are trying to play the devil's advocate here.
I know that. Yeah.
I know you are more intelligent than that as well. Do you really trust La République to the extent that they can pull everything, take across the Mongo, and will not bring them back?
Well, I think if they pull out from their barracks, every single barrack, at least it's a starting point, isn't it?
Listen, Chris. Listen, Chris. Let me
having
also
been in
come
this
in
trouble for, having been in this trouble for 60 years, Chris, we should know better that we cannot be fooled the second time by depending on La Republique alone. Look, we need a third party so that when there is a ceasefire, there is a third party supervising that there is no escalation again, and that is the UN. So that
Chris,
it's not never
but then you got to understand, when you go to Swiss and agree on a ceasefire, that is not the end to the conflict, and La Republique, being what it is, can just go back and do what they know how to do best, killing more people, sending out their troops.
Can I come in here? Can I come in here?
All right, yes. Sir John.
Yes, listen to me. A ceasefire is an international agreement. All over all the conflicts in the world. A ceasefire is an international agreement. And a ceasefire must be monitored. It must be monitored. And the terms must be agreed by the parties. And you can only do that through negotiation. The ceasefire, if during a ceasefire in this conflict that I know, La Republic will withdraw to the barracks that they have in Amazonia. We will stop fighting. But the monitoring organ, the United Nations peacekeeping force or an interposition force, whatever force that is coming in to monitor, will monitor that there's no violation, Chris. And at that time, we will continue to prepare for war, because the ceasefire does not mean end of the war. Okay? It just means you stop fighting and you talk. That's what it means, Chris.
All right. So, well, let's wait. When we get there, we are just beating about the bush here because we're not even sure.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
Because we're not even sure. Cameroon, they change colors like chameleons, so you never know what they can do. But let us move to this other subject. Over the weekend, the SDF held the National Executive Committee meeting, in which John Frundi essentially indicted his parliamentarians for endorsing the petition that their members of parliament signed, petitioning U.S. Congress for withholding Ambazonian immigrants trying to seek asylum in the U.S. Frundi appeared to be very, very mad and actually asked that those parliamentarians who signed that document go back and withdraw it. Joshua Osei, who is essentially the leader of the party at the moment, was particularly indicted for signing that document. The question that many people ask is the SDF really still that relevant? Is it still that relevant? I will ask you people the question, because does it even matter whether they signed or they didn't sign? Provayim.
It doesn't matter whether they signed or not. It was a non-event there. The U.S. Congress is not supposed to be moralized by the Cameroon Congress. And if they had petitioned to their president, petitioned to their president in Yaoundé, that would be appropriate. But trying to moralize America, they crossed the line. It is hopeless. It is condemnable, and we wrote against it, very seriously to the various Congress people, etc., upholding them and hailing them for taking the position they took. They set an example of how, a Congress or representatives speak on behalf of their people. The SDF was not speaking on behalf of their people. All right? So it made no sense. Yes, Frundi was right to be angry, but SDF being a federalist organization, I don't know.
Barrister John, let me get to you. Again, I will ask you the same question. Is the SDF really still that relevant?
I don't know where they are relevant, Chris. I don't even know where they held this executive meeting. Was it actually in Amazonia? Because the restoration forces will not allow any political party meeting anywhere in our territory. At any rate, I don't see how relevant the SDF is now. Burundi is trying to, I don't know what it's trying to do to reduce some of the stigma that is on him now. Trying to clean up his conscience. I don't know what that means. If him and Joshua Osei took money to hold elections, and he took his and disappeared to the America, and Joshua Osei stayed behind. And let me tell you, Joshua Osei is one of the uninformed, uneducated parliamentarians. Because if you listen to his explanation during his interview on one of those networks in Cameroon, which I listened to the end, his reason was that it is parliamentary diplomacy. They want to stop the killing in the northwest and southwest, he calls it. What the heck is he talking about? What is the relationship between deporting people and stopping a war? I don't know whether these guys ever read anything. Because Joshua Osei was trying to justify that, and his party now is on his neck. And that party should be holding in La République du Cameroon, not in our territory, because no political party is allowed to hold any meeting or any kind of thing, any kind of rally on our soil. Because all the political parties have been banned in our territory. So Joshua Osei and his SDF parliamentarians who signed that document, they cannot withdraw the signature because the document went, and the document was put in a trash can in the United States. Where will they go and get it to withdraw? All the party is just playing some kind of a game. How do you withdraw a signature after you sign and the document leaves? All this could do, if they were serious, is to dismiss this guy, Joshua Osei, from their party. But they cannot do that because it's a source of income for them. They are still surviving in La République du Cameroon because of Joshua Osei's propensity for money. But I haven't said that the SDF does not represent anything. Even in La République du Cameroon, what percentage do they represent? They have lost everything in Amazonia, so they should forget. All they can talk about is their militants in Bapusam and Rebbe Douala and some in Yaoundé. Where else do they go? Where else can they go?
Well,
so they have no relevance. They have no relevance. They are, to answer the question, they are not relevant anywhere.
Thank you. That is your opinion. I don't think they reason the same. I don't think they reason the same as you. They are seriously believing they're gonna be taking over in 2025. Profiling. Let's talk about over the weekend. Also, we saw this story of Frank Biya forming a political movement, political party, I guess it is, putting forth his candidature for 2025. Tell me, what do you see in that?
I see nothing in that.
Gambe man for yes.
Honestly, I see nothing in that because we are not interested in the politics of La République.
You don't see? No. We cannot say that.
I see something, Chris.
We cannot say that. We may not be. It may not interest us to the level of what place we have there, but it interests us to the level of how does it affect our struggle. Remember, it was when a regime change took place in Somaliland. It was when regime change took place in Somalia that Somalilanders cut off, seized the opportunity to cut off from Somalia.
correct. Let me say
So
something.
well, let's see exactly what the manifesto of such a party is, and if in the manifesto it is that the independence of Amazonia is guaranteed.
The manifesto of the party is to take over from Paul Biya.
Is that all?
Chris, let me come in here.
Okay.
It is the death of the CPDM that has been announced. I don't know whether anybody says it. It is the death of the CPDM that has been announced, and it smears trouble across La République du Cameroon. Look, if the CPDM dies, La République dies with it. Look, Frank Biya is attempting to kill the CPDM and form his own political movement. And if the CPDM dies, La République du Cameroon is finished. And I see a disintegration of that La République. I see it because forming a political party by a Biya's son tells the whole story. And he's going to get some people who would come from CPDM to support him, and CPDM will disintegrate, and that is it. That is the only answer I see. Anything about Amazonia, about La République does not interest Amazonia. Whether they put what in their manifesto is unimportant to us. What we're saying is that as political observers, if La République begins to disintegrate, it is advantageous to us to pack and leave. We have already left.
Is it possible?
We still have our people working for them. We still have our people living in that territory. And if there's chaos, what happens? They move back to Amazonia and we close the borders.
Is it possible to change the name and maintain the people?
And maintain what?
And maintain the people and same policies?
Oh, you mean the names of the party?
Yes.
Well, you see, this is the way I look. I read the situation there. I really think that the arrangement is over, it's done. Frank Biya will be the next president of La République du Cameroon. And the reason why Frank Biya is forming a party is so that when the elections come in 2005, for the first time, to give the international community some sort of semblance of credibility to their election, they will say for the first time a different party other than the CPDM won the election. That is what I'm saying there. And it will be Frank Biya.
And you believe that Frank Biya can win election in Cameroon?
Of course not. Of course not. It is in their playbook to make sure that they give credibility to that exercise, to say at least for the first time a party other than the CPDM. And guess what? The same people in that party, the CPDM, will become ministers in Frank Biya's government.
Exactly. Did you believe that Biya was going to win elections?
Well, I am the one asking questions. Why are you asking me questions?
I'm asking for Barrister Fruso.
Okay,
it's like he believes.
Let me answer you. I tell you that the level of morale, the level of thinking of La République du Cameroon citizens vis-à-vis Paul Biya is very negative. Anything connected with Paul Biya is so negative that his son cannot get one vote in the ballot box. I don't care what I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm always saying that if the CPDM will disintegrate if that Frank Biya's party sees the light of day, and that's the end of the CPDM.
Oh yeah, and that is Barrister John. That is the same reason for which you will hear at the end of the day, MCR something. That's the name of the party, MCR something. That is the same reason for which you will hear at the end of the day, MCR party of Frank Biya won the election because the CPDM was in disarray. Yeah, I mean, they know what they are doing. They know their game.
Exactly.
Look,
Exactly.
let's not think that La Republic of Cameroon citizens are all stupid. They are not. And they are intelligent people. They know what they want. There has killed the political morale of every citizen in the Republic of Cameroon. They are afraid of the barrel of the gun. That's why they are so quiet and they said, "On va faire comment? On va faire comment?" But if a man from there comes up with a political party, who do you see from Banamilki land, or even from Basar land, or even from the Morolos up there? What do you call them, the Northerners? Who do you see?
Barrister John, I think I disagree with you a little bit. Francophones are not fighters. Where is Camto with all the pressure with all the support that was behind him? You thought they were going to pick up arms to confront Biya. Bamilikis want to protect their businesses. Maybe the only people that will fight will be the people in the north. For Bamilikis, I'm not sure. They love their business more than freedom.
And they will vote for Biya?
They may not vote, but when again the corruption is perpetuated, what do you expect them to do? La Republic knows they will not fight.
All we're talking about was about Frank Biya. Anything about
they will not vote.
Anything connected to Biya is rival right now. Right.
Barrister, my good friend, they will not vote for Frank Biya, but Frank Biya will win.
No, that we are sure about that. I mean, even without a vote, we know Frank Biya will win. But the question is,
let me say this. For anybody to win election in that country, must have the support of the military establishment. The question that I ask you guys, is the military loyal to Frank Biya or to Ngongo or to whoever? There are so many.
I don't think that is an answer that we can all. A question we can all answer now, because we don't know their inner politics. We don't know.
Biya will not win election in La Republic of Cameroon. Take it to the bank.
I have no doubt that a free and fair election he will never win. He will never win a free and fair election. But when you talk about Ngongo, how do you know whether he is not behind Frank Biya doing this?
Exactly.
How do you know, Barrister John?
No. Chris, don't forget, it's 1.5 years I left that place. Let me tell you, the fight is ferocious. The Nangai Boko group, the Beti group, the Nordis, and the Bamilikis. You tell me who is who in La Republic that you think is credible right now. If Camto has not advanced, it's because of the torture, the detentions, the arrests, the this, the that, and that. But let me tell you, the average Bamileke man is fed up with the Biya system. As much as they want to protect their businesses, they also want to protect the life of their children.
I agree with you. I only hope they are courageous enough to do that. All right, please, time is fast spent. Let me open the phone line. I see some people trying to call here. Please, before you call, just make sure that the volume of your set is turned down. And when you call, stay on the subject, stay on the topic. Any of the things we have discussed today, you are free to talk about that. Now you have the phone line there on your screen. Go ahead, call that number there, and I will take your call. Okay, let me see who is on the line. Okay. I'm having an issue. My phone is full. Why I am trying to get this done, Prof. Ayim, I know you were trying to support the idea that Frank Biya will definitely, if he stands, he will definitely win, not because of a free and fair situation, but because If he is doing this, he is doing this with some inside advice. Correct?
Definitely. France is preparing him to take over the father. Definitely. That is why he's going to win whether he has the votes or not. Just standing for election, he's going to win because they're already preparing him for that. That's obvious.
Yes,
Very obvious.
Let me disagree.
Yeah.
Look, as much as the French, they want their puppet, they want an intelligent puppet. They don't just want anybody because he happened to be Bia's son. Frank Bia is not a politician to start with. Secondly, his level of education is not up to the standard to even discuss foreign policy, to even discuss anything. Let me also tell you, the French will not. Look. Let me tell you what.
John, who are you referring to? You think they really care whether he has a requisite education or not?
Yes, they do.
They do.
They do.
Ahijo had nothing.
Let me land, Chris. Let me land. They put a Yedema in Togo because he's their puppet and is an educated young man who came from the United States, who has been Minister of Defense of that country under his father, and who has held post of responsibility under his father. They put Bongo, Ali Bongo, the son of Omar Bongo, because Ali Bongo is an educated person. He had been a minister under his father. He has served his father many years and gathered the experience. Frank Bia could not even manage a forestry deal that was given to him in the Jai Lobo forest. He could not even manage.
But how about the case of the Congo DRC?
He escaped to South Africa, and when I was living in Namibia, he has lived most of his time outside. Comes in, takes money from his father, goes and eats, and he is not. What can he manage? What does he do? That the French will rely on him to manage a complicated society like La République of Cameroon for them.
But then if you bring that argument, somebody will say it was different in Congo DRC, where Kabila, who the son of Lawrence Kabila, took over. He was nobody. I think he was.
No, he was. Oh, yes, he was.
Well, he was a military officer, right?
Yes,
a lower level military officer.
No. When they landed, the father made him, the Kabila made him a commander and also Minister of Defense of Congo. And until they killed the father, that boy was already in government. Yes. You cannot.
All right, let's get quickly to the phones. Hello.
No, Barrister. Currently, Frank is being groomed for that position.
Hold on, please. Well,
I'm still to be convinced.
Please, let's get to the phone. Let's get to the phone lines. We have no time left. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, Mr. UN.
Yes, I want to appreciate what you people are doing there today to educate our people on Ground Zero. I just want to contribute a little bit in relation to what you have been saying there today. Concerning Ayuk negotiating or not with La Republique, we understand that Ayuk Tabe, even Ayaba and Akuru, they confirmed to us that they were negotiating with La Republique people. So they have not come back to give us any feedback if the talks failed or they did not fail. So we believe that they are still negotiating with La Republique. And the question we have to ask ourselves is this: why is it that when something is very, very important that comes up, we hear are you coming up with an interview? When they created the LCLC, and as soon as they created the LCLC, something was happening. Ayu came up and sacked Dr. Sako. When they created the APNC, Ayu came up again and created a parallel government. when they did the national dialogue, Ayuk came up again and make interview with Jeune Afrique. Now that we have talked about working with Ayuk, La République, Ayuk has also given an interview to Jeune Afrique. So whenever we discover them, they push Ayuk to come forward and say something. Because the goal, according to them, is just to dismantle the interim government. People will say that, how are they going to arrive at? They believe that if they dismantle the interim government, they cease all this resistance on ground zero, now they will come with the final verdict. Now, when we come to the portion of Britain signing contracts with La République, I believe that they have just two options: to psychologically demoralize weak Amazonians who will believe that, why is it that we are fighting? Britain is signing contract with La République. And then the second part is that they want to seal the British lips so that they should not say anything, because any verdict by the British, especially as the Americans are coming up with resolutions, that one can put La République to life support. That is what is happening. Because let us understand that the France signed a cooperation agreement with La République that any things they have to do with business, they have to contact the French people. Why is it that during these 4 years we hear the Swiss and other countries signing deals with La République, not France? It's because France is trying to buy her way through the international community to let them go forward and sign deals with La République so that they should not take any opposing position as far as she is concerned. Concerning the ceasefire, just 1 minute, I'm going to finish. Concerning the ceasefire, now, Akwanga signed that La République should ceasefire and go to barracks, and they have many barracks in southern Cameroon, which is wrong. Now, the La République people, they are talking of a ceasefire. They are here of Jean-Betty Assomo. That is a ploy to lure our people to fall prey, because the ceasefire will mean to them that they remove the military and they put the gendarmes and they put the police to the street. And now, since they have been coming up with recently with this ATF and these other proxy forces training a lot, the military will not disguise with them and join them and come and begin to fight our own people. Why is it that the ATF and the other people, the ROK and the rest, why did they not display their own military power before then? But only now that they are calling for a ceasefire, because they want to use them and disguise the Republic military to come and join them and come and fight our own people. We should not be fooled that Britain sold us to France for 20 million pounds, like I heard my pa and my president, my former president, Pa Gojindika, said. The problem is this: if you see the action of Britain today, Britain was conscious of the fact that we had natural resources. She thought we could join Nigeria. We played smart. Now, when we play smart, Britain cornered France and said, these people, they are very rich like this. If we allow them, and then Nkrumah is talking with them, they are going to be smarter enough. Either we go and remove the third option. That's why they say we either join this or this. So I want to believe that we should not blame only France alone of using our natural resources. France and Britain, they have been since 1960 dividing our natural resources until we see the sacred clause that they signed that remove the third option in that plebiscite. The next thing I'm going to finish in 30 seconds, Secretary, please.
Okay,
the next
thing
is that
so others can talk.
The next thing is that we are saying that La République has crossed our boundary crossed the boundaries. Those boundaries were put in place by the colonial masters, by the European masters. That's the reason why we have struggled for 60 years. We're unable to resolve it with La République. We struggle with march all over the world, so that the colonial masters, including Switzerland and whosoever who can force La République and France to come to the table, we got Switzerland. Why are these people running away from Switzerland? Let everybody know in this world that the interim government is the creation of the of ranks from ground zero. So it is not something that is abroad that people will come here and begin to talk. You cannot tell us that they will resist till independence when he is against lockdown, he is against international mediation, he is now calling for school resumption. The tools with which we used to resist La République, Ayuk Tabi is now against those tools. So it is time for all the blind followers who used to follow Ayuk Tabi and Ayabato Lucas, they have to come back and make a U-turn and come back. And I want to congratulate Caroline Mala because she is one of those people. For ADF, SDF people, they are just doing damage control. It's a game that they are playing. All those kind of things. Thank you, Secretary, for giving me all this time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. I think you make a very good, important point there about the idea of gendarmes and police remaining on ground zero, even with a ceasefire.
Yeah.
And
yes,
it goes
I agree.
back to what Barrister John you were saying, because if a ceasefire is not negotiated by an international mediator, La Republic can just pull out their soldiers and then, you know what, put police uniforms and gendarme uniforms on them, and before you know, they are back on the street and they are still killing. All right, let me get this other caller here. I see so many calls missed here. Hello.
Hello, Secretary. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Victor calling from Sweden.
Okay, thanks for the call, sir. What is your contribution?
Yes, Secretary, I want to congratulate you people for your job well done, and I want to extend my congratulations to the restoration forces first.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been. I come precisely from Tico, where the banana is concerning the deal that British have are signing with La Republique concerning the banana sector.
Right, a trade deal with La Republique.
Yeah, for the banana. I'm specifically for the banana.
Okay.
The plantations of the CDC there in the Tico subdivision is 10 banana packing houses, Secretary Chris. And the economic sabotage is not really very difficult to carry on, because those packing houses are in the bushes.
Okay.
So I think we just need to work with the restoration forces so they can. The main thing not to go and attack the workers or attack the cars so that they should be exposed, but their packing houses should be brought down. There are 10 of them from Cam 7 to Benga.
Okay.
So the only thing is not to go for the workers or wait for the cars.
Are you very active? Are you very active in the Fako County?
Yeah, I'm part of the Southern Cameroon. Let me say the Ambazonians in Stockholm.
Okay, I'm asking because that information that you have is quite important. If you could pass it over to the county leaders.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll get to Prince Jeka. I just wanted to let anybody who is hearing should know, because I know what I'm saying, and it is just if those their way out, those parking stations are brought down, nothing can function. The bananas in the bushes will remain there, because that is where they process them to take to the market. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. The banana in the bushes will remain in the bushes with the boys in the bushes. The boys in the bushes.
Yeah, they will remain in the bushes, and none will go into the containers.
All right. Thank you for the call, please. Okay. Let's see who is next here. Ground Zero calling. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, hello, Mr. Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Yes, my begin. I recall from Manfe.
Okay, wonderful. How was you guys in Manfe still observe ghost towns, right?
Yes, that ghost town is still there. It's still there. So too for your module, yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right, what is your contribution, sir?
Okay. Oh, now I'm being my begin then. Yeah, now.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Una be my begin them. Oh, na the work, na fine work. But I don't like say, if you like you belong me, I don't like say begin like you. You come she don't begin life for Sisiko in them. You life for Ayaba in them. Life for all my name. You be really true pastor.
You win a true pastor.
Okay, make I answer your question now. How you know say me are the lie?
You did talk plenty, like plenty.
Answer my question. Answer my question. How you know? If you ask question, I want answer. Then you ask question on top question. You cannot answer a question. If you know if you answer question, no call. Okay. If you don't ask foolish question, I won't drop you. Okay. But Sir John, I see you trying. I think you have something to add there.
No, I'm just laughing at that Ayub Tabe surrogate. He says they're a lie, and you cannot tell the lie that we're lying.
He come like say he want to talk something good and see that's really good.
I'm not surprised. It's a surrogate.
Yeah, let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
That's comedy.
Hello. 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 Okay.
Hey, Chris, we cannot live without saying something about what.
Hello.
Hello, Secretary.
You said it in monologue.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Germany. My name is Cyprian.
Cyprian. Okay, thanks for the call. What is in your head, sir?
Yeah, my contribution is that I first want to thank the panelists. I want to thank Professor Ayem, Barrister Fu, and yourself. I want to thank you people for the wonderful job you are doing. So let me go straight to my point. I want to talk about the UK deal with La République. We have to know that this deal is a deal we have to fight. And how are we supposed to fight? It is for us, the citizens of Ambazonia, to sponsor, to contribute to our LGAs and county, so that our fighters on the ground will have enough fund to get the material to do what they are supposed to do, to make sure that the UK does not profit from this deal they are signing with La République. That is our responsibility. That is all Ambassador. They should contribute more now if we are really interested to stop this deal. Now, I want to add on that. I want to talk about that Frank Biya situation. The issue is that La République citizens are coward and sheepgoats. They know very well that France knows very well that even if they put whoever there, the La République citizens, they will never stand up for their right because they are coward. So they were expecting that we Ambazonians will fight for them. Unfortunately for them, they have to take their own destiny in their own hands. So I am convinced that Frank Biya will be the next president of La République du Cameroon. That is how it's going to be. That's my own issue. And Oshi Joshua is a good friend of Frank Biya. And together, that is why you see Oshi Joshua is supporting. He is supporting that the American Senate should withdraw. Or that is why Oshi Joshua signed the letter sent to the American Senate. Yes, that is the connection in it. So I thank you for the great job you are doing. And Ambassador, please contribute to your LG and county. Let us finish this fight very soon. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the last caller for the day. It's 5 p.m. here in Houston, Texas. And Washington, D.C. is 6 p.m. and I started at 2 p.m. We've covered quite a lot here. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Again, for Ground Zero, ABC will be back either tomorrow or Wednesday. But I would like to give Barrister John and Prof. Ayem the last word, please.
Okay, Chris, we cannot leave this platform without talking about what the pathetic story that is coming in from Nwa. When we filed a criminal complaint against certain individuals in La République du Cameroon and Nigeria, we indicated that the two governments are collaborating to destroy and to kill and maim and cause genocide in Ambazonia. This is one of the cases. The two countries, neither is Nigeria stopping its Fulanis from coming in, or neither is La République is there helping the Fulanis to kill and name our people in war. And therefore, this is a thing that we have to rally. The neighboring counties must rally and help Donga and Mantung so that we can rescue our people in war. That's all I was going to say. And I thank you for inviting me. And it has been an exciting evening. We'll call it another day.
All right. Prof. Ayem, please, the last word before we call it a day.
Yeah, thank you, Secretary Chris, for having me here, and to our Amazonian people and to valiant Amazonian Restoration Forces. I want to say 21 gun salute. And I just want to round up here by saying that the bottom line is that we should escalate and make Ground Zero ungovernable. What is happening with the British and the UK stuff, the trade deal and everything, just sends us the message that we should step up and let our actions speak right away. So we're going to work on that, and I call on the cooperation of everybody and all the citizens and all the restoration forces. Let's step up the game. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Barrister John. Thank you, Prof. Ayem. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the night. But before I go, please look at that information on your screen. ABC needs your support. ABC needs your support. We just do not like it when Ground Zero goes for a night without ABC, because we know how worried they can be. We don't want to pretend that we have money here on a regular basis to pay it. All the money we use come from you. So please get to the website abcambertv.org, click on the donation button and make a one-time donation. Can be $20, can be $50, can be $100. It will go a long way to help. We also have the PayPal payment method there, support at abcambertv.org, and we'll have the Cash App and the Zelle number. Just make sure that somebody don't give you a mixed number. Verify the numbers before you make your payment. Make sure that the number you use are the numbers you find on your screen, not any other number. So please, I really look forward to you going to the website abcambertv.org. Make a one-time donation to sustain ABC, so we can keep on coming to you and coming to Ground Zero to elevate them. All right, thank you very much. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you again over the week.
Akwa idoro yino, you know when me always in a Sisiko. Obonko young toyo, then I need a run, you know. You don't run, you know. You don't run, you know. You don't run, you know when me always in a Sisiko. Equal, Obonko young, but I want to change, then I need a run, you know. You don't run, you know. Why don't run, you know. You don't run, you know when me Obonko young toyo, then I need a run, you know. You don't run, you know. Why you don't run, you know. You don't run, you know when me always in a Sisiko. Obonko young toyo, then I need to run, you know. Akanamkwe, so toba siye miyo. Eda remember baga, inye tuage bore no ye.
Fellow Ambazonians, dear countrymen, despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream.
A place we can surely call home.
At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance.
The land of our forebears.
A place we can surely call home.
A few years ago, a vicious dictator declared war on our sovereign nation of Ambazonia. It is a war we did not seek nor provoke, but are determined to muster every strength we can harness and continue sending the message to our enemy that we have risen to call home.
We have paid dues for everything. We pay tax for goods we buy. We pay fuel in our cars. We pay hospital bills and the dues for all other sacrifices.
I can give all I have for the one hope that I have.
Because I hate my CID. I'm a proudly Amazonian.
Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies.
Independence will be but days away if we get it right with our CID level.
My dear comrades, I am appealing to every Ambazonian to register with the CID program.
We have no control over our distorted history, but with our CID, we can set the pace and determine the future of Ambazonia.
Yes, the hope for the future is in our hands. As an Ambazonian, my identity is conclusive. My right is guaranteed. My vote will always count as I pay my CID.
As an Ambazonian, I will shape the future with my CID.
With your CID of just $10 per month, the interim government is contract to fulfill all that you wish to be done.
Let us build the freedom mansion from the little block, which is our CID living.
There will be food for everyone, hope for every child, justice for every citizen when we pay our CID levy.
Yes, the dream we can realize with my compulsory independence dues, CID. I have the opportunity to give to the next generation a greater nation, better than we inherited.
Yes, CID program is freedom made easy, freedom made cheap, freedom for Amazonia now.